Hey guys, welcome back to my video. Today we're going to be ranking every single extreme tower. That is obviously the sequel to the insane tower I made. Not the insane tower I made, the insane tower video I made quite a while ago. Which, yeah, it was 6 months ago. Quite a bit ago, but you know, we're doing extremes now. Yeah, I've beaten pretty much every extreme. Only I'm missing is TOWF, but once again, I have experience, okay? I'm experienced to talk about this, in my opinion. Also, this video is 100% facts, okay? There'll be no biased opinions here, and nothing spewed by towers taking me way too long to complete. Yeah. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Number 11, we have Tower of Terrifying Beauty. Yeah, this tower is just bad. I'm pretty sure besides Mono though, I don't think a single person actually likes this tower. It's incredibly unbalanced and it's just not fun. On top of that, there's a lighting effect which makes it horrible to see stuff, and yeah, it's just, nah, the gameplay's not it. I will say that it's cool that at the end you have to do a little dropper to drop down to floor 1. That's like the coolest part. Besides that, it's just, yeah, there's no good quality really. It's also, I could be wrong, but I think there's like the least completed extreme tower. Like no one really goes for this. And there's a reason for that. It doesn't really give you a skill boost. It doesn't really give a fun experience. Well, that's for sure. And yeah, it's just not fun. Alright, next up we have possibly the most unbalanced SC in the game. AAA. I mean, this tower just does not make sense. We have the first 4 floors, which are extremely hard and just not fun. And yeah, this is a KAMIL tower that was nerfed, and it's very, very clear. Too clear, because some jumps were just not nerfed. Like, for example, this header right here, which was clearly just not nerfed. But also the nets. They just decided to leave, like, terrifying difficulty nets. But, oh, it's fine, because it's a net. Right, this is like one of those towers. It's just net nation, basically, loop fail nation, and it's not fun. The gameplay itself would be fine, it just needs to be nerfed down to be balanced. Oh, okay, you can remove the nets completely and just make the gameplay balanced. I think it would make the tower a lot better. Alright, next up is TOBK. If I sound different, it's because it's the next day. This is one of those towers that you either like or don't like, and I'm definitely on the don't like side. It's really just, I don't know why people like it, I just don't get it. Like the previous 2 towers, no one really likes them anyway, right? But there are people who generally think this is one of the best towers in the game, such as KAMIL. This tower's like the most janky gameplay ever, and I guess if you like janky gameplay, it's good. I'm very lucky to have fluked the final stretch as well, which is, I think, the hardest part of, I don't know, I wouldn't really say it's the hardest part. The worst part of the tower is really like floor 9 and 10, it's just loop failing. No, I keep going, what? And even then, even if the whole tower is kind of balanced, the gameplay is just so bad. This is like this random ice part, which just, like, how is this gameplay? I don't get it. There's certainly worse towers in this, but yeah, I'm okay. Alright, next up we have the Tower of Strategic Mechanics, and I feel like most people would say this is the worst one. And I kinda get it. I mean, it's not great, that's for sure. A lot of the gameplay is completely unnecessary, as well as the first half just being way easier than the later parts. However, I can kinda appreciate the tower for being creative. Like, you cannot tell me it's not creative. It's probably one of the most creative classic towers. It's one of those towers that's like fun until you fall, but once you fall, you just like don't want to play it anymore. Or at least that's how I felt. And also the GBJ, yeah, it's GBJ Nation. It's basically like TOI except extreme. But anyway, yeah, I'd say the other 3 towers are just straight up bad. This one's just mid. So yeah, we're getting to like the better ones now. Next up, we have TOFM. Now, if you guys watch my channel, you know that this tower is still my longest grind to date. Well, besides TOFM, but TOFM was just like a stupid difficulty jump. But, like, in terms of, like, actual grind, like, going in order, this is by far my longest. Yeah, and yeah, I kinda like the tower, but I also kinda don't. It's like one of those. It's like, I like the gameplay in some parts, but also some parts the gameplay is just absolutely terrible. It's also really unfun to play, at least I found it really unfun, and this isn't just because of the loop failing. Even in the first few streams, I was already not really having that much fun with the tower.
Croquet.
Croquet? What did it go? And yeah, this is the first pick, that is a bit biased. This is probably should be higher on the list. It's just not that fun in my opinion, like, it's just mid. The main bad part is floor 8 in my opinion. Oh, wait, is it floor 8? It's either floor 8 or floor 7. Whichever floor is like the purple one, which is like, it's completely hard and everything else. Like, it's like by far the hardest floor of the tower. I also failed 10 a lot, but that was just because I was dumb. But yeah, tower's fine. I probably would enjoy it more if it didn't take me 27 streams. But yeah, I got really tired of playing this, as you can imagine, so yeah. Next up we have Dripping Amalgam, and despite this being like a pretty interesting looking tower, there isn't actually much to say about it. For me, it's like one of the least memorable extreme towers, mainly because I beat it really quickly, but also, I don't know, like, It's well made, the gameplay is good, but I just don't remember it. It's weird, because I kind of like the tower, but also I kind of feel just neutral towards it. Like, I enjoy the gameplay in this tower, it's pretty good, it's consistent, you know? And yeah, while to me it isn't anything special, I can still appreciate it, you know? It's consistent throughout it, there's not much major difficulty spikes, the design's consistent, it's very consistent, consistently decent. Next up we have the Tower of Wicked Fortress, and I think this is definitely a big improvement from the other ones that we've done so far. Now, I was very lucky, this probably would have been lower if I didn't fluke floor 10. Floor 10 is by far the hardest floor, which I somehow did in first try, I don't know how. Actually, I think my most failed floor was floor 5 outside. There was like one bottom fluke which I hated. But anyway, yeah, the tower's pretty decent, I like it, kind of. I definitely think the second half's gameplay is better than the first. Like, the first half has some very questionable parts. But I wouldn't say any part is, like, particularly terrible, although it is kind of based on difficulty spikes. Also, float on outside is, like, the hardest spinner flick of all time. I fluked it, obviously, but I know it's hard because I failed it about 100 times in practice. And yeah, I find the design of the tower to be okay. I just don't like the darkness effects. I never like darkness, by the way. If your tower's darkness, I'm probably gonna like it a little bit less, even if it's well used. Design-wise, the tower's fine. I don't know how this Gun to Ashen Tower works, because this really isn't, like, a very groundbreaking tower. Like, this is, like, probably the least interesting SC we've had since, like, Mind-Breaking. But yeah, the tower's fine. I kind of enjoyed it. It's just okay. Alright, next up we have Toei. Now, I know this is like most people's favorite extreme tower, and I think it's a bit overrated. I mean, I'm putting it at number 4, so I still do like it, but it's definitely nothing really that good. I think the design and creativity definitely outshines the actual gameplay in this tower. I mean, it's probably the best extreme in terms of those. My least favorite part of the tower, however, is the punishment part of it, which it is the point, obviously, it is the point of this tower to be punished, because most of the gameplay in this tower is like peak insane, maybe even high insane, so they have to make it punishing, and plus it's also really short. Another thing I like about this tower is that you get to choose your path. This is like the only SC I can think of which allows you to do that. You can either do the blue path if you're stupid, because it's like 10 times harder, or you can do a yellow path, but I guess the yellow path's more punishing, so. Another really hard aspect of this tower is the final stretch. It's cool, you know, I like the design, gameplay is pretty decent, but I failed it a lot of times, which made it kind of annoying. But despite me putting it at number 4, I don't even think it's close to the top 3. I mean, the top 3 I have is like locked in. Now next up we have Toso, and I think these last 3 are like a big step up. I actually really like this tower. I know a lot of people don't like it because of the punishment, but the gameplay is mostly like low extreme, so it kind of, you know, balances out. I still don't know how this was ever M though, but whatever, we ignore that. But the tower is just really fun, like there's not much else to say to it. I ended up failing on the last jump to the tower, and I still ended up liking it. The tower feels like it's gonna be like really hard on the like first few floors, because the first few floors, they're really long and quite challenging, especially floor 1. But once you get consistent at it, it's just really fun to play through, and I actually played through a little bit of it before this video, and it was really fun. I wouldn't say there's any particular bad parts. The only kind of problem is, well, first of all, the punishment, but that is the point. But also, floor 7 is a bit harder than the rest, I'm not gonna lie. And there are some parts that don't really make sense. But yeah, overall, I really like this tower, and I don't know who made it, but whoever did, you should make more towers. Unless they already do, I don't know. I'm not checking who made it, I don't care. Number 2, we have what I would say is my favorite, about 2 months ago, until it recently changed, Hopeless Hell. Now, this is one that gets a lot of hate, and I just don't get why. Especially from people that like TOBK, because this tower is literally just the janky TOBK gameplay, except actually made well. It has some of that janky gameplay, but at the same time, having, you know, actually decent gameplay as well. And yeah, the tower is really fun to replay. All the gameplay makes sense. You don't really need to practice it, which is always a positive in my opinion. In fact, I don't think I ever went into the practice place when I was beating this. And yeah, the major big negative is that you pretty much have to play the tower on one graphics, or you're kind of blind. The bright white just does not contrast when it's every single color pretty much. But that's about it. There's not much to say about this one. It's, I'd say, pretty balanced. There's obviously harder jumps than others, but yeah, for its time, it's pretty well made, and yeah, I like it. At number 1, we have Toei. Now, this could be because I fluked it, okay? Basically, I beat TFM, took me like 27 streams, 3 final stretch fails or something like that, and I went into this and beat it in like 3 hours. And yeah, besides this being really overrated on difficulty in my opinion, it's just really good. The tower is mainly like wraparound gameplay and just really simple to understand, and that's why I like it so much. The gameplay kind of reminds me of TOTS, although not as good. But still, I found this one really fun, I'm not gonna lie. That's all I can say really. The worst part by far is frickin' the 4th island, which I ended up skipping because I hated it so much. But yeah, aside from that, I really like this tower, and yeah. Also, I'm not going to JTOH to do an outro, I'm too lazy, so I'm gonna just end it here. Thank you guys for watching, see ya.